So we've talked about many times that state and emotions are super important, not only in healing, but in success and in life. So if we're gonna get our energy up, what are some ways that we could do that? One, physically. Go.
Get more sleep.
Awesome. Next.
Physical movement.
Exercise. What?
That's
Anything else? How you breathe. Awesome. Next.
How we eat.
Your nutrition. Anything else?
General posture.
Okay, posture. Helps you breathe.
It does help you breathe.
All right. So there are ways that we can get our energy up. And if we know for a fact that our level of energy will dictate sort of how we go through the barriers of our life, what's another thing we could talk about would be not just your physiology, but your psychology, right? So what are some emotions that would increase your energy?
Happiness.
Okay, so the antidote for low energy are your anecdotes, or the stories. You've heard stories in from your past, whether it's fictional ones or whether it's real, whether it's people who've had success, whether it's things that you've done in your life, things that have made you happy, right? So if you wanted to get happy, what would it take? Right? Well, there's thinking about it, remembering it, and getting into that same physiological state, right? So you could get happy right now if you wanted to, right? Are there things in your life that you're happy about? Yes? Everyone?
Yeah.
All right, so so you can get happy. What else could you feel?
Excitement.
All right. Hope, excitement. All right. So you can actually get yourself into any state that you choose to. But if you don't choose to, the gravity falls which way? Down. So it's easier to get into a low energy. You know, it's easier to go to the dark side of the force, but it's not the best way to go, right? So we could choose despair, you know, or it could happen to us automatically. A lot of people gravitate towards negative emotions, just that's their normal place, if that makes sense. So it takes work. These are muscles. So every one of these is exercise that you have to do on a regular basis. How often are you exercising happiness? How often are you exercising hope? How often are you exercising how grateful you are, you know, for all the blessings that you have in your life, right? So the fact that you get to eat on a daily basis, you know, half the world's population doesn't have clean water, have access to good nutrition, to you know, to the things that we have, you know, in terms of this. Even a television doesn't exist in, you know, half the, not that that's a good thing, but in a lot of homes, they don't have access to information or to the internet. So just think about how lucky we are, right? Now, what are you going to do with that, right? Are you going to just squander it? Now, during tough economic times, a lot of people turn towards just watching more, you know, like Netflix or going to the movies. Well, movies aren't an option today, but, you know, or they start putting bad things in their body, whether that's drugs or bad food. You know, we've got an obligation to try to teach people to get here. But we can't teach what we don't know, so we've got to get here ourselves, right? So it's imperative that before we talk to another human being, that you got to take care of your own business. You got to get yourself in good repair. So check yourself before we open that door. Are you in a good state? Are you doing what you need to do? How many of you think that you could do a little bit better when it comes to some of these physical things? Good. And how about some of these psychological things? Right? So practice what we preach. All right. So if we're gonna be authentic, if we're gonna be, and all of us can, right? So the goal isn't being perfect. The goal is staying in control of your own story. All right, because there aren't things that we can't control. We can't control everything, and that becomes a problem. Is that when the world has changed and we have no control over it, it makes us feel bad. But focus on the things that you can control. You can control your thoughts. You can control your actions. You can't necessarily control all of your outcomes, but you can control the little things that might get you there, and stay in a positive state. All right, so this has been your morning huddle. Let's go save some lives and have an awesome day, guys. Woo!